Two 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 two
the way the color grading looked and thought that
two
I
two
could
two
pull
two
inspiration from. So
two
we
two
were
two.
all kind of on the same page.
Everything
We all
on
knew what
leg.
was going on, and we all agreed how we were going to move forward. That was the first thing that happened. And then I got the footage. Now, when I'm dealing with my own footage that I shot on my cameras, I have all of the original files, and I probably edited that as well in DaVinci Resolve, and so I can see all the individual clips. In this case, we decided that the easiest way to get me the footage after it was edited was to send me a single file, a single ProRes HQ 10-bit file that had no effects on it, it had no color grading on it, and it was in the original log that the footage was shot in. What that means is that I then have to import that file and cut it all up to individually address all of those clips. Okay, so we've got a blank canvas here, a new DaVinci Resolve project. The only thing that I've really done here is imported the footage that I got from the director. So the one on the left here is the ProRes version. So that is the one that I'm going to be working on that's gotten rid of all the effects and it's starting from scratch. The one on the right is a rough cut to make sure that they both line up. What that means is that I then have to run into issues when I send.
Man, I don't know, man. I gotta change my strategies on this thing right here so that we're working on the coordinations that's enabling us to key strategic inputs. By those enabling us to do that, it's changing our key vectors. Saying that I need to, we're coming a lot smaller. We're coming in a lot smaller. We don't need as many shares. What else? We don't need as many shares. Coming nice and slow. We're gonna work one account at a time. We're gonna grab top step. Reset the last two apexes, and right now we gotta we're gonna slow work the we're gonna slow work both of the fucking my funded futures back to life. You understand? Like, so we're gonna bring those back to life as well. So that's three different accounts. Apex is good. I like Apex. Apex been keeping itself in the game. That's good. What else? What else? What else? Let's see. Let's see. Apex funded is good, and then we're gonna start working on top. And so that's where we're at with that, and then we're done with the firm shit. So the firm is secure, but these last two purchases, couple purchases, we're gonna be secure the firm. For now, we're gonna be working on some of our other projections and other models. Working on that. I'm gonna tighten this up and get us more secure. From that, what we got.
The next step is actually to go through and just double check, watch the cuts and make sure they did a job. I won't bore you with that whole process, but you just kind of painstakingly go through and make sure that it worked correctly. And like I said, we've also got a version of the film that has all the effects used on this project. The primary camera was an FX3, a Sony FX3, and shot in S-Log3. There was also a DJI drone that was shot in D-Log, and there was also some archival footage that was just from phones and stuff. What I want to do is actually
so we're gonna tighten that up, clean up the rest of the crib ski, light everything up, everything's good to go. Loretta's looking good. We'll get her right. Everything's gonna be good to go. From there, we're gonna work them and bring them back to life, man. We're gonna bring them all back. Watch. We can't move the market. The market is a scam. That's another thing. This thing is a total scam. So don't trust it. I'm the only buyer. Be very wary. Buyer beware every time you buy. Be very careful. You're not, it's no team. They're not in a joint. It's no legitimate. This shit is a total scam. It's a farce. But you can make some money from it just like you selling drugs. So be careful with that.
audio cut up like this, I'm going to
Yeah, right here,
delete
like
those
this
to the
type shit.
audio. So all I did was held Option to select it without selecting any of the videos, and then dragged a box over it so it selected all those clips. Then I'm going to right click here and hit link clip so that it unlinks it, and then just drag this audio track out to the end. Now I've got one solid audio track underneath there instead of a bunch of different clips that I don't really need. So now when we look at the timeline, we've got a fairly obvious visual representation of what we're working with here. So like you can see, all of the green is Sony FX3 footage. Any of the brown is going to be just black frames, so that's just audio only. And then we've got pink, which is our drone shots. We've got orange, which is archival footage. But here's the thing, this isn't just for the timeline. This actually helps me to grade fast. So check this out. If we go over to the color page, I can now go up to my clips. There's a little drop down menu, and I'm going to go create smart filter. And I'm going to name the smart filter, so let's call it FX3 V2 because I've already got the FX3 from the original grade. And we're going to set the properties under color timeline properties. We're going to go to clip color, and we're going to choose for the FX3, it was green. Oh, that's the wrong green. That green, there we go. And I'm going to hit create. So now all we're seeing in the clips here are just the FX3 footage. It's filtered out all the other ones. I have the same thing done for the drone and the same thing done for the iPhone footage. So if I select those, that's all I'll see on the timeline. Same thing with the drone footage as well. But the next step that I want to take with this kind of grouping of things together is actually to add it into a color grading group. So right now you'll see up in our nodes area here, we've got the option to choose either clip, so we're grading on the clip, or we're grading the entire timeline. But what happens if we highlight one of the clips, hit Command A or Control A to select all of the clips, and then what I'm going to do is right click, I'm going to go add into a new group. I'm going to call this FX3 footage.
Like that.
Now
So
when I hit OK, you'll see that there are two more dots.
we'll call that
So now we've got
6
a
and
group,
7. Now we need a
and
10.
we've got a group
See what I mean? We just have to work
as
that
well
bitch.
as our normal
Have to
clip
work
and
that
time.
bitch back on up.
Now I'm going to go and do the same thing with my iPhone footage. All of this, I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit add into new group. I'm going to go iPhone footage. I'm going to do the same thing for the drone footage. We're going to add into a new group. And there we go. So we've got our nice groups all set up. Now I can go to my clips and go back to all clips. Also, just an aside, if you don't want to set up smart groups like I did, like these smart filters, you can just go to clip color and literally just get the FX3s. If you have it memorized, if you already know which clip is which color and that kind of stuff, you can just do it by color up in here. Lots of different ways to organize. And so now you can see the little link down in the bottom corner of each of these clips. That's any time that I'm highlighted on a clip that's in a group with other clips, it'll show you that it's in the group with those clips. So let's see if I find some drone footage. So if I click this, you notice that the little link went away on the FX3 footage. But if we scroll back far enough,
You are a fighter, and this is your reward, the mark of a fighter.
we should see there's another drone shot there, so it's got the link because I'm still selected on that drone shot, and so on and so forth. So it's a nice way to organize things together, but also it's a nice way to grade things together. Now, that may have seemed like a lot of work before I ever even start color grading, but let me tell you, that kind of organization saves me a ton of time when it actually comes to the color grade, not only because it's easier to find things, but because I can grade things together. I can create a look on the whole group, and that's what we're going to do.
So that's our meeting for that one. When we come back, so they can use the first test.
Times easier once it actually comes down to the actual work of doing color grade. So with that being said, let's actually dive in and do some grading. So the first thing I want to do is find kind of a hero shot, one that I think is a really nice looking shot that has a bunch of different colors in it, that kind of can be a representative of a good starting place for the whole project. There's one shot in here that I really loved, and so that's where I started. This one right here. So we've got some nice bright areas, some nice dark areas. We've got colors in here. We've got the blue shirt, the green trees in the background. We've got the red on the hats.